Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Friday night live stream for the Georgia Shooting Connection. Hope everyone had a great holiday weekend. Last weekend, it's been celebrating Independence Day most of the week, I guess. So Kyle's not here yet. I don't know where he's at. I'll send him a text message. Meanwhile, CW, kick us off, brother.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Glad you're here. Glad to be here myself.
Text message. Meanwhile, CW, kick us
We got a couple of topics for tonight, and we got a good panel going on here, and our side chaps beginning to hop as well. Welcome everybody in the side chat. You had a great week. What's going on there, Mr. Gene?
Not much, not much. Thanks for having me on again. Greatly appreciate it. Looking forward to another great live Georgia Shooting Connection.
Howdy, folks. Good to see everybody. Side chat. Always good to see you guys. Not much going on here. Just getting through some rainy days here, so that's good. We needed it. But we'll go on over there at Austin. How you doing, sir?
Hey, man, I'm great. Thanks for having me back here. Good to see you guys. And tell you what, I'm just trying to surf out this heat wave that's been coming. If you're down here in these parts, I tell you what, it's been a little bit miserable lately, but I think tomorrow some of them temperatures are going to drop a little bit for us. So, yeah, surviving the heat so far, and glad to be here. Glad to see all of y'all, and hope we see Kyle here pretty soon. That's what I got, brothers.
Well, I'm glad everybody's here. I'm trying to do way too many things at one time. Uh, we got a topic we want to talk about, probably more pertinent to me and Leadsmith and Kyle and anybody who lives in Florida, the Southeast. Raleigh is in Waycross, Georgia. That's way down yonder, below the Nat line. If y'all know Georgia, you know what I'm talking about. So Andy, 79Z28's out there. Good to have you, man. Michael Hurtneck, if it's all right with you, we may do an unboxing here in a little while. Tacos and French fries, South Florida. So this will be pertinent information for you guys. And just to start it off, I'll tease it a little bit. If you saw my video on Let Freedom Ring, there was a gentleman in that video who was kind of hefty and rotund, and his name, we called him Frog. His name was David, but he passed away in October of 2020. Well, his son left him all. Well, he didn't have a will, so his son inherited everything. And with that being said, he lives in Arizona. He came home for the funeral, packed everything up, and got everything out of his house because he was a renter, and stored it as well as he could. Well, last couple of weeks we've been getting some of that stuff out, and it's not good. So I'm kind of heartbroken, and I want to. I'm hoping that what we talk about tonight, and plus we're going to talk about Willie's giveaway that's ready to go. So I'm hoping what we talk about tonight will drive y'all and push y'all to get in that safe a little more often and take a look at your stuff. Take it out and shoot it, clean it up. When you put it up, make sure it's oiled up. You don't got no fingerprints on it, and we'll get into that. So, anybody else have any comments about anything like that? Crickets.
Just don't take it for granted because what you're about to hear about is kind of scary. And we all know about leaving guns in cases, and especially those foam boxes are bad news. They just suck all the oil and everything off it, and they rust, and then the gun sticks to the foam. But this is kind of almost a tearjerker.
We still have all those issues up here in Ohio too. I mean, we get like last week or so. I mean, we have really high humidity here. So even though I've got everything in the safe, I've still got packs in there and a dehumidifier little unit that I bought.
A lot of those dehumidifiers that you buy for safes and such can be really just a heater, and it can work to displace moisture, but some environments you need more. You need to be a little more diligent.
At the minimum, I would suggest having your in-house safes, at least the climate control in the house helps alleviate some of that moisture, and the temperature change is what, we can see attacks our guns. But yeah, if you got some secondary, vacuum sealed or some kind of packet or drying system, do what you can. But don't, I had an old 22 sitting in the garage for varmints, and it's bad off. But it's an old varmint gun. I'm not too concerned with it. But it didn't take long to get there. So,
Tacos and French fries, brother, there is no such thing. You can't. Well, I guess you can. You could dip it in a vat of oil and leave it. That's probably not good either.
yeah, Indiana's got usually doesn't hit till July and August, but we get pretty humid. And this past couple of weeks, like Austin was saying, we've had 90 plus for 3-4 weeks straight, give or take a couple nights. But we hit 66 last night with rain. Oh, man, it felt great. But that's when the humidity changes over, and that's when your guns get attacked, is when the seasons change and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be careful.
We take a lot for granted living in these nice sealed climate controlled houses. It doesn't take much. I left the window open in my reloading room just one night. Came back into my room and saw surface rust already starting to form on a Lee press handle. And I couldn't believe how quick that happened.
Sure. I left a box of crackers on the counter not too long ago. I got back and they were like wet cardboard. Just got my crackers that quick.
Hooked it right up.
Yep.
West Covina. That man is so funny.
Yeah, he put a smile on your face no matter what.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah, it's good to get good habits established. Keep them.
Yep.
There's Uncle John out there. We'll go through side chat in a little bit, but I guess it's kind of early yet, and I know there'll probably be more folks here in a little while. But if y'all want me to, I'll go ahead and show y'all what I'm talking about if we can pick it up. And what I want y'all to understand is, I'll show you. If I can get something that'll not let my hands be all rusty. This is a Ruger #1. Y'all know how nice and how pristine and expensive those guns are. And right there on the end, you can see the blue, how beautiful the blue job is. And then as you go on down, you start to see the pitting.
Oh, man.
You look on that side right there, and
Yeah.
you can tell I've cleaned it up a good bit. But
Yeah.
that's not just pitting, that is caked up rust.
That's scale. Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
scaled. And you keep going. And let me flip it. And this is what break your heart. Is that part right there.
Yeah, buddy.
And this was in a silicone sock, guys.
Man.
So whatever moisture was available there was introduced there. It got just under the wood, and everywhere the wood touched the metal or overlapped is where it is worse.
Yep.
Underneath that wood, it was just churning. Yeah, and they want me to fix this stuff. Well, my answer to fixing that, and I talked to CW before, I haven't told him anything, but man, he's such a good. I loved his dad. I'll do anything for the family I can, but this is a little ATI road agent. Basically, it's a little poach gun, 20-inch shotgun barrel, and you can see the pitting. And if any of you guys out there know what this is coated with, let me know, because I don't think it's blue. There you can see it real well, and you can see it's just took the coating off, and it may be blue, but it's a very very matte finish. And this gun, and like I showed the guys beforehand, if I can get myself out of the way, you can see that those barrels are excellent. This gun may have never even been fired because the break open handle is real stiff, and I think he had tried to shoot it and was going to do some work on it, and he got sick, passed away before he could get it done.
It's
So-
sad to see that one.
And the wood, this is from the Ruger #1. You can see it's pretty decent. I mean, the wood ain't hurt, and it's that beautiful black walnut. But we got places like this right here. Do I need to blow it up again? We got, you see that black spot right there
Yeah.
where the rust just came over the top of it. And you can see the wood is not bad at all. The wood can be, well, it's a little caked up right there. And you can see some more of it. That just scaling rust embedded into the wood. But that'll clean up fine. That ain't no problem. But so yeah, it was in a vehicle in the backyard. It was in a Chevy Tahoe, and the son forgot to tell his mom.
Well, that 12 gauge or that double barrel might be functional. The cosmetics are destroyed. It's never going to be the same
Well,
unless
That-
the internals aren't good anymore. But
hey, Miss Hotshot, the thing about it's a coach gun. I mean, if it was mine, I could live with it like that.
that's what I'm saying. Fully functional, but the value in the cosmetics, it's just no longer nothing but a tool. It's not a pretty, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to bring it down anymore. it's a shame. We just need to try and take care of these things before we hand them down. And when we do,
I
That's
think
true.
we'll be pretty happy with how that comes out, Jamie. If you can do like Gene was talking. Deep blasting is gonna hide a lot of that. It's gonna put its own texture in there, so it'll hide a lot of the.
there you go. Yeah.
Now, how deep can that pitting go, though, before we have some safety concerns of firing around it?
Oh, it's not that deep.
Superficial. You know.
Yeah, that's all superficial.
But parkerizing has a kind of a rough texture to it sometimes. I wonder if that sandblasted with the parkerizing may just make that dude look good, you know?
That might be the way to go.
And I'm kind of new to some of that, but I've been around cars and hot rods and restoration, other type stuff. So metal's metal. I guess it all kind of, you know.
I think sandblasting and then Cerakoting, because sandblasting will take it down some, and then Cerakoting itself actually fills in microscopic pits.
Yeah, it'll kind of level it out. Good idea.
And and even giving it maybe 2 coats of a good air cure series, it's high temp.
Chromachrome.
Chromachrome, yes.
It looked like what was that Cylon blaster? It looked like.
That being a coach gun, I mean, you could do that any color. You could do that OD green or flat dark earth or anything like that and still have that looking smooth.
True. Got some ideas.
It wouldn't have to be just back to black. I mean, shit, we could unicorn purple it. Oh, sorry, Jamie. Didn't mean to cuss, but
I got a single barrel I've been really, really thinking on quite a while. I really like the look of that OD green, but I don't know if I want to do it.
Well, the good thing about it is if you don't like it, it can be re-sandblasted and done again.
It's just the color. Yep.
Yeah, it's just a color.
Please leave your message for 7.
I think that being a coach gun, you could do that and it would be really nice. You could bead blast it and just reblue the whole thing.
You definitely want to stop the rust, like do the boiling technique or, sandblasting will definitely take it down to fresh steel. So I would definitely do total removal, whatever you choose to do. But, there you go. Just like Anvil tells us.
And not do it again.
Mexican.
I must be talking to Kyle.
Why is it when wife can't find her phone, it's my responsibility to call the phone until she finds it? It don't matter what else I'm doing.
I had that issue today. Mine couldn't find her phone. Had to call her.
That's awesome.
There's James Pugh.
Good to see you, Georgia boy. James,
Always.
how you doing?
Always,
Please leave your message for
always good to see Pastor. And if y'all have some stuff like that, Georgia Boy 44 had an entire series of
Good
quote
stuff.
unquote basement rescues.
Yep.
I had a couple Marlin 60s. My stepson has. It was one of the matching sets. The serial numbers are right next to each other. And the little medallion on the buttstock with the gold trigger, the Marlin Model 60. I don't remember the name of it, but they were sitting on the floor in the basement and soaked up water. So you could see that water traveled up into the stock and discolored it. And no matter what I did to it, I couldn't totally get rid of it. But we did do a refurbish on them. And, man, they look great. But that stock, you can see where the water once was and what it did. So it's just horrible to see that. I've got a stock sitting here that has the same kind of damage just on the front end. I don't know if my light's going to be good enough to pick it up, but you can kind of see the
water gets under and lifts it.
Yeah.
Up.
That grayish yellow there, and then you get into the prettier wood there. So it's just horrible to see that happen. If we know we're going to store them long term, take the wood off the metal. I mean, that's, you're only helping it. I remember a few years some of the car manufacturers had that undercoating that did nothing but trap the moisture. The steel couldn't breathe. You know, it didn't have its time to go through cycles and temperature change and whatnot. The rubberized coating acted as a wet pad, so to speak.
Starts flaking away like dry paint.
Yeah, it gets bad fast, especially with the salt, in some of the states that use the salt and snow removal. So, a little different subject, but still.
Well, Pastor, Mr. Hot Pot does Cerakote. If you want to send him something up his way, it's a long way. If you got somebody local, I understand, but I'm thinking
I'm just a mailbox away.
if I can acquire the ownership of this here road agent, I might send those barrels up and let him do them.
You see Roger's comment?
I'm gonna put that up there for y'all.
Yeah.
It's always an eyesight.
Finally found a use for that Gorilla Glue he bought.
So Miss Abigail's here. Should I just go ahead and go through the side chat?
Knock
We
it
got-
out, brother.
We got 39 out there already. Let me see if I can get back to the beginning of this mess. And we'll talk about maybe what we can do to some of these guns that get in that condition. The only real answer is don't let them get in that condition. So they got to get in that position to get in that condition, right? That sounded like I shouldn't have said it. So we
No,
got,
I hear a song in there.
yeah, just stop, Dan. So we got CW and Leadsmith are both in the side chat, and on the panel we got Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog, Mr. Bunning. Hope you're feeling very well. Miss Kitty, how you doing? We got Kyle, Reloader 762, Lead Bullet Junkie, Walter Bunning, Kyle, and CW. So put a whole bunch of them in there. Fuzz T48, Tim S. What's happening, my brother? Reloading from the hot pots on the panel and in the side chat. Walks Fletcher, Andy 79Z28. We got 67 Rebel SST AMC Ricky Baird, who got a new PCC 9 Ruger today. So I think he went and picked it up out of jail. He's in Connecticut. We got Uncle John, Alaska 1 Andy, Glenn Davis, Walks Fletcher, Trees are blowing. What's happening, my brother? Andre D'Angelo, GGW Reloading, Broke Loader 2, Johnny 1982, Michael Hurtneck, Broke Loader 2, Tacos and French Fries, Mark Thomas, what's going on, man? Another good leather craft video today. Rollis Carbellis, Tacos and French Fries. Tim S., did I say him?
Just
Papa's Place. Papa's Place, what's going on? Big E. Echoes Reloading Chamber, what's going on, man? James Pollard, what's going on, buddy? Trees are blowing. Michael Hurtneck, Big E, Hipparchus. We'll get to that when I finish this, Johnny. I'm glad I went through here and saw that question. I missed that. And we also had a question from Lead Bullet Junkie I need to answer. We got Edward Petty, Curtis Long, Uncle John, 6-shooter Texan, Papa's Place. Some of you guys' names put me in minds of songs. We got Glenn Davis, Mr. Pollard, Edward Petty, West Covina Dodge, what's going on? Reloader 762 again. Michael Hurtneck. Jason Stewart. See, every time I think there's Lead Bullet Junkie, every time I think I'm repeating myself, I run up on a new name.
Hmm.
Tactical Fudd. What's going on? See what I mean? Glenn Davis. I said him already. I think. We can't welcome y'all enough in here. Let me star this one, so I'll go back.
We just jumped to 50. Pony Boy stopped in and Tommy Boy while you were talking.
There's William C. Chapin, James Pugh, Georgia Boy 44, 6-shooter Texan, Trees are Blowing, and Abigail Finnegan, Pony 47, BPJ. Who else did I miss? Hobby's Hobo, Chris 338, Tommy Boy. See, it jumped on me, man. It does that all the time. Just when you think you're got away, they pull you back in. Okay, I have a question in regards to the different shapes of our casting molds. What is the purpose of the different designs? I understand some are for cuts paper, some are for lever guns, and there is New Tex I Can.
I want to bust in here, and this one's for Walter Bunning. I'm a picking.
And I'm a grinning. You knew somebody was going to say that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Ain't you glad I didn't leave you hanging?
I asked somebody else to do it, but they didn't turn their mic on.
So anybody want to take a crack at this question right here?
Failed.
One of the big reasons for these different, I assume, different designs, meaning different bullet profiles. A lot of it is for reliability and the type of firearm it is intended for. Like forever, for the longest time, we're looking at a round nose bullet profile for the M1911, to assist, make sure feeding is flawless, that sort of thing. But of course, not too long afterwards, guys who were pretty knowledgeable with this gun, learned that they could designs for those target shooting purposes, like the semi-wad cutters for cutting those clean holes in paper. They had to do a few magazine changes and the speed limit style, that sort of thing. But a lot of it ultimately comes back to designing a round that's going to feed in that particular firearm. That's where I would say the majority of them come from, and then variations tend to start coming as a result of that, like your hollow points for self-defense purposes or hunting purposes, um, that's pretty much, I think, the majority of it. Some accuracy can probably be gained with different types of profiles. Uh, CW, what do you think on this topic?
Well, there's a whole pile of them lumped in there, but yeah, you've got um, different base styles, bevel bases. You've got different nose profiles, like you say, for feeding. Like the wad cutters, the full wad cutters were needed to function some calibers in some guns, like the 1911s and Smith 52s. You can't put a regular 38 profile bullet, anything like a wad cutter or semi wad cutter or anything like that won't even fit in the magazine, won't fit in the gun. So you had to use a full wad cutter style. Um, some of the profiles are lend themselves better to better stability. Then you've got hunting profiles like the ranch dogs and the LBTs, which are designed to function with as big a me plat as you can get for a hunting purpose. Um, you got truncated cones designs, which was a modification to the semi wad cutter to work in a semi-auto designed pistol. Um, Semi-wad cutters themselves were a modification off the round nose to give you a cleaner hole, which you already said. And then there's crosses between all of them as we move through to everybody's trying to put their own spin on a bullet design, and there's so many that are modified versions of others just to be different. And that's just handgun bullets. You get into the rifles, and now you're talking about different stabilities and weight percentages here and there, and there's a whole another passel of reasons for shapes and designs.
Basically, somebody had an idea. Then they have to go about proving or disproving the idea. And that's why we do so much test loads and shooting and stuff like that. And Lead Bullet Junkie, I am currently researching to see when exactly that was. That would have been the Mike Treen giveaway. And that's been a minute. I should be able to find it here before too long. Do y'all remember when that was? No.
I remember Willie talking about it, but no, I don't remember the time frame.
You're looking at least 2 years ago,
Yeah.
at least, because I'm friends with his cousin, who actually had a LGS near me.
Yeah, I don't have any. I don't have any emails saved past January of 2020. So I hate to think Last thing I've got is the Dead Zero trip, which we had to cancel. And I see where I hate to think I can't remember that, but I would rather say I don't remember than to tell you something new.
I've got some conversation with Mike on Discord still. I can't believe they saved all that. His account's still there, that whatever's still there. Wow.
Can you see a date?
Oh, my bad. September 2020.
Okay, so it was 2020.
Yeah, it wasn't too long after that because we talked a lot.
Yeah, and if y'all remember, we did this as we did that to help him through his treatments. So
Right. Yeah.
Edward, that's pretty spot on. We did that giveaway before he passed.
Yes.
So it would have been. I remember wanting it done before Christmas, and I think we got right in there. So yeah, that Bullet Junkie, that would have been around Christmas time of 2019. So that would have been 3 years. Well, 2.5 years ago. So I think that's about right. And if I'm wrong, y'all speak up. So we got 50 folks out there. Thank all y'all for being here. So yeah, we're going to. I have a. We'll talk a little bit about the Wheelie giveaway. I will have a post office box tomorrow. Um, Gene would say I have a dedicated bank account set up for donations. $20 donation will get you one entry into the giveaway. So, how about that? Y'all sure are quiet tonight. Come on, guys, liven up a little bit.
You got you got those details. I don't know.
Could you increase on that and X amount of dollars gets you so many entries?
No, $20 gets you one entry.
All right.
Okay.
And I thought about making it $25 for an entry and then five for 100. And I'm like, that's just not fair to the folks that can't give as much. And that's just not right. That's just not the way we do stuff. There's PA Reloader. What's going on, man? And yeah, I guess so. Curtis, why don't you come on here and liven folks up a little bit? Make us some coffee, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, buddy. Uh, I think that's more fair, Gene. Don't you? I mean, seriously.
Yeah. Yes, I do. Now that you say it that way, yes, that is fair.
Okay.
Mock sent me a text.
But just so you know, if I enter it, I win it, I'm keeping it.
No.
Paying it forward, I'm going to keep the rifle.
I'm coming to Ohio.
Yep. You can come to Ohio. We can shoot it and shoot it and shoot it and shoot it. But I'm going to keep it.
Well, I think the main thing we need to do tonight, and I hate to start doing this because I haven't sat down and wrote everybody's name down and all that kind of stuff. And if I start naming, there's going to be somebody left out. But there's already been countless donations of stuff to give away. Uh, like uh, Scotsman gave me an upper receiver. Uh, Mock is doing the muzzle devices. Uh, GGW gave us the furniture for the A2 build. Uh, Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog may have done more for this giveaway than anybody, as he's building both lowers and building the A2 complete rifle. And he spent a lot of money, just like me and some other guys. So we need to thank GGW Senior Master Sergeant Bulldog, the Crazy Scotsman. Mark Thomas is giving us giving a winner a belt or a holster or maybe both. I don't know. Y'all have to talk to him. MacMan's giving us a DeWalt tool um, and a Mac set of pliers to give away. Um, Kyle's got magazines. We need to thank Laser's Edge Studios for the Willie Bullet Man dust covers. And with that, Mock's got something to say about that.
So about that, I've got 5 more dust covers for individual giveaway coming. They'll be engraved just like that. So that adds a little sweetness to the pot, whatever. So it'll be more we can give away.
So Mark is giving away a belt and a holster rig. And GGW's reminding me about the coffee mugs. He sent me a picture of what it's got, and it's got woohoo on the bottom, just like Willie used to say. So let me send him a link. GGW, are you available? And you can get on here and show folks what we're talking about. Send me a text if you are. We need to thank Reloading from the Hot Pot for a handguard and a scope, and that scope is yeah, I'm gonna buy one of those. That scope.
I'll tell you what. That's why if I enter and win that one, I'm not gonna be hating keeping that scope. Let me tell you what.
Stirring the pot.
Yeah,
The hot pot.
The hot pot.
look at Lead Bullet Junkie going on here, man. That's
Oh wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do what that's on you. You'll have to ship to whoever you. But yeah, I'll write that down. I'm writing it down, Lead Bullet Junkie. So why were you asking about the giveaway? You did win some bullets and a press. I think I don't remember. Uh, okay, so that's pretty dang cool, man.
Right on, James Pollard.
Next week, we'll have another prize announcement. Um, I'm trying to get Willie's oldest son, Nicholas, to come on with us. And yeah, we'll go back to that question in a minute. So yeah, it'd be cool to have GGW and Nicholas on here, And I sent a text to Kyle. I don't know what's going on with him. That's pretty cool, Junkie. Way to go, man. Look at this crap, y'all. Tim S. is sitting there with dice in his hands. Woo, come on, baby.
That's awesome.
I guess we can count on Tim S. for an entry into the giveaway, huh? Yeah, so yeah, this is pretty fun, but it's been a lot of work already, and still got a lot of paperwork left to go on as far as keeping track of the entries. And we got to think about how we're going to do a giveaway, man. How we're going to go about actually picking winners for these things. You know, in the past, I've numbered 9mm rounds and stuck my hand down in there and drew them out.
They got random number generators that are pretty easy to do on. I see a lot of guys use them on the phone and computers.
I know, man, but it's that's a good idea. Not that.
I think those are the fairest. You know,
Do you really?
yeah, that generator doesn't care.
I know. That's
You know,
why it seems like when I'm watching those giveaways, though, it like picks out numbers that are close together. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
I think the last giveaway I did that, but I did it on the third draw, where I would push it 3 times, and on the third one, that was the winner.
Yep.
Yeah, James Pollard wants to know, who do we send the entries to?
We're working on that. I tell you what I got so far. I have a dedicated bank account set up, and it's in my name. And maybe I should let somebody try to send some. I'm going to try to use Zelle, but um, Gene was saying to make sure you send it to friends and family, not for goods or services. And Gene, tell us a little bit about that, and tell us all of the things that we can try to get done with this.
Well, as long as it's sent as friends and family and not goods and services. So in the description, it asks friends or family. Click that, and just if you want to put a comment in there, just donation for family, donation for bills, something like that, something that you would send to friends and family. And I was talking to Jamie about setting the bank account up with several different pay services, because you can include all of those in that, like Cash App, Zelle. What's that other one, Jamie? That Venmo.
And
So offer different payment options for the different people out there that use different ones, as to not have to set up one just to make a donation. Something they already use on the common.
yeah, and I have Zelle set up to it already. And I think what you can do is you can go on Zelle and look up my email address. Let me put it in a banner. Uh, You have to go into Zelle and do a search, I guess. I don't know how this is going to work, but this is the.
Well, don't you have like a Zelle like user ID, like to receive money from or to give out to get money instead of just your email address?
I can check and see.
Like my Cash App is Mr. Hot Pot. So if anybody feels frisky,
There you go. And I'm behind on comments. No, I didn't. Thanks, man. Remington large pistols. I need those. Bulldog, I sent you a link. Check your email. So the only thing I can tell you guys is let's uh, see if you can do something here. Now tomorrow, all right, there he is, y'all. On three, you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hey.
Hey, I wasn't on mute that time.
There he is. So that's the email address, and let me see what else I can find right here.
Got a little package on the way for you, Bulldog.
All right. I can't show y'all where we're at so far, but I think the only thing I'm waiting on is that muzzle device.
Nice.
So if anybody wants to see if you can find me on Zelle and make a donation, it'll certainly count. Um, and let me see what I can find out on my bank right here. But this is a dedicated account where everything is going to the family, and all I'm doing here is uh, it's landing in that account. I'll make a record of your donations, and then send the money straight to Melissa.
how are you going to keep a record? A screenshot sent to an email?
Probably, yeah. If you guys want to be entered, you can screenshot your receipt, and then email it to georgiashootingconnection@gmail.com or the email that you see there on your screen, jh586sw@gmail.com. Either one of those will count.
Well, it sounds like it's coming together. It's been kind of a long time in the planning, but it's a big one. So
Or now I can't even find the dang account. So there's that. anyway, I'll figure it out. And yeah, man.
Such quiet.
Yeah, it is.
I just ate and Vanessa's killing me. Talking about smoking all this food.
Or y'all can try to find Kyle Lusk at JH586SW. I don't know how that happened.
Well, it might be better just to make it one place. That way it's easier to keep track of. You know, one dedicated email for the giveaway. Because you start getting 2 and 3 emails in there, man, you're going to drive yourself crazy. I know I would.
Yeah, so a little less labor involved if you do the one.
Well, let's just use the Georgia Shooting Connection at gmail.com because that's what we used. Broke Loaded, this is going to end Zelle, PA Reloader Zelle. Our goal is $4,000 or, and I hate to carry it on to Labor Day, but we'll end at Labor Day. Uh, as long as it's I don't know. As long as it's friends and family, and I don't have PayPal connected to it, Walter. So number. Let me give you a number. See if this helps. Y'all get a kick out of this account number. That's the account number for the.
Hey.
You like that?
Yep.
GGW, I don't have Venmo connected to it yet, but I'm going to try to get. I'm going to try to get Venmo connected to it. And what else, Gene?
Cash App.
Okay, hold on, I'm writing. Venmo, Cash App, and is that all? That's enough, ain't it?
I think 3 would be enough. I mean, those are the 3 most popular apps.
That's the number to the. That's the number to the bank account. So Miss Kitty's wanting y'all to send donations to her as well. So I don't know what kind of prizes she's giving away, but hey, you know. Good night, hobos.
Not Mike.
Hobos.
I,
Yeah.
she's got all those smoked meats, man. She'll be sending that out.
Yeah, she could probably have a good old beef jerky package coming out.
Yeah. What does the SW stand for, Jason? And let me put that account number back up there. Have I lost it already? There it is. Check out the last 3 numbers, Jason.
So it's a 6-shooter made in 71, a 686. That's a good year, 71 right there.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. So I was in 5th grade, I think.
I was born in 71. Damn.
Ooh. So anyway, if y'all want to get on there and see what y'all can do with that information, let me add that account to the banner too. Let me just and edit. Does that make any sense at all? I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
take while you're messing around. I'm gonna ask who did anything shooting this week.
I don't know what that means. Well, y'all know a little bit about what I've been doing. I've been working on my car for one thing.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's hot here to be out working on the car, but I did uh, start on these, and I like CW's advice about uh, about the Ruger number one. He suggested I send it back to Ruger, and I think that's what I'm going to do. So there's John's hand loading. What's going on, my buddy?
Hey, Jamie, if you're trying to get rust off, you can take a copper penny and use the copper penny to scrape that rust off. Um, it'll take a lot of rust off without ruining what bluing is there.
I've heard that, and I've been looking for a penny that was made before 1981. That's when before 81 is a couple of videos and CW told me before 81 they're solid copper,
Mm-hmm.
but after 81 they're just copper clad, and I don't know what it is down in there. I
You know,
brought
or
all this
the other
82.
thing you can do is get a like a copper fitting as well. But a copper penny, the alloy is a lot better. It's soft enough.
So it's zinc on the inside. Don't tell anybody. They'll be cutting their pennies and melting the zinc out of pennies.
That's what they are.
I separate my copper pennies and my zinc pennies.
Yeah.
So I've got a bag full of like 82 back, and then forward up until they actually changed into all the way zinc.
Hey, Jamie, I don't know if you've tried any of this, but if you've got any small parts that you just need to strip the rust off, found this little product here works really well. I've used it on
That stuff does great.
man, and yours is bigger than mine.
You know why?
Why is that?
Genetics.
He lives in the south.
I bought a gallon of it when I was. Yeah, the vapor rust is going to take the bluing and everything off of it.
Yeah.
The boots get bigger down in the south too.
And that's not what we really want. We don't want to. Yeah.
You know,
Well,
that's going to be for parts that you intend on rebluing
right.
or leaving in the white, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like you said, small parts, internal workings.
Yeah. Yeah. I've used it on some used bullet molds that I've purchased at, through like estate sales, that sort of thing. Works great.
I did, but I got that squared away, Mister Pollard, and that stuff took good care of it.
You bringing up old stuff, James Pollard.
Yeah, he is. Matter of fact, here's a look at that mold today.
Purdy.
Yeah, can't even tell it, can you?
But don't let Kyle hear that.
Oh no, man, we
We won't be
gotta
able to mess with him anymore.
have ammo. Anvil is bad to the bone, Johnny. I love that man. I love watching his videos. I've met him, and I even had a video of me and him chatting for a minute. He's a really nice guy. Yes, it is. That is the thunderstorm mold. It is 358477.
Good to see old William hanging out with us on a Friday night.
I'm going to look up that. I'm going to look up Mark and see what I can find about that.
Look up what?
I'm going to go on Anvil's channel and look up and see what he has about rust restoration. But I'm thinking the only thing for that Ruger #1 is just send it back to Ruger and uh, have it redone by them, have it restored, refinished, whatever. And I'm pretty sure what they'll do is put a new barrel on it, and then probably take the receiver apart and put the receiver in some evapor rust and then re-blue it. But their bluing is just exquisite. As a matter of fact, I do, Walter. It's a single cavity that my buddy CW Longshot got for me, and I've got some. Uh, I've got some of those loaded up somewhere. I need to go shoot those things. Yeah,
Later.
Yeah, he does do a lot of that.
CW doesn't load and cast or anything, does he?
Who's that?
CW. I heard he was going to get into it, but
He doesn't mess with
somebody was supposed to send him a mold or something.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
I haven't got it out in the mail yet.
I was supposed to send him a couple of molds myself. I haven't got them in the mail either. But they were fishing lure type molds. They got moved around in my garage, and I'm still hunting for them.
Yeah, you got to start him off easy.
Yeah. He's not taking the bait.
Ting Ting, welcome in, buddy. Good to see you out there. And Walter, I think that's for 44 special. I think that's kind of a heavy bullet, but from what I'm reading about, what I'm finding out, the more research I do, is that particular mold was designed by Elmer Keith for 44 special. And thanks, Walter. I appreciate that. And that's what mine is, Big E. It's a lineman, but it's a single cavity and it's iron, and it works. Of course, it's a slow go with a. So Walter shoots a lot through 44 special. Soak it in cider, works well.
Guess it'd be kind of like, just soaking it in vinegar. I've seen people use that to get rust off.
It works. Yeah, I took a couple old tools. It does work. I had one of those, I don't know what they're called, but that drill that you lean against, it has the mechanisms on it.
Cordless drill.
Yeah.
Auger.
Right? So I took all that apart, soaked it in vinegar for about 4 or 5 days, and it was down to bare metal. Looked real good.
Cool. But see, that's my problem, Curtis, is I can't find any unique around here right now.
Yeah, that's hard for me to find. I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
I have.
Good deal.
I saw it out in the reloading area.
That's interesting too. But the problem with these firearms, guys, and y'all know as well as I do, is once that metal pits, it's done. Your
Right.
collector value is gone with the wind at that point in time.
If you hadn't put the metal back, that's right.
But you could use Bondo.
Smooth it out with some JB Weld.
There you go. Or you could rub lead on it until it fills it in.
Yeah, there you go, and get some of those bluing pins I see from time to time, and just touch it up. Hey, look, we're a bunch of gunsmiths here, and we didn't even decide. This is a meeting of the minds. We're going to figure it all out here tonight.
I'm just, we're spitballing.
Well,
It won't look pretty, but it
there's
might.
Mr. Rebel. Try 5.5 grains of tight group. That's near top, near
Yeah.
max.
DEFCON 5.
I don't like tight grip.
I love tight group for 9mm.
I don't like tight grip for anything. I'm sorry. It's I don't know. I just
Because of the margin of spike versus.
it goes from one, from almost to peak. It's just right there.
Yeah.
There's no, the range is not big
Right.
enough, and if your scale is off 2/10, you got issues with tight group.
You got a possible, catastrophic failure, and
There you go, right there, hot and spiky. And Walks Fletcher sums it up. I love hate tight group.
Yeah.
and if you're doing powder coating, I've heard so many bad things about people with problems with it. With it getting all gummy and goopy and stuff. That's why I got rid of what I had.
Mike, you got any unique in your shop? You're a fortunate man, Mr. Chief. That's exactly right. For 9 millimeter, it's hard to beat it. PA reloader because it's that consistent powder throw. It kind of makes up for that narrow window because it just throws so consistent through a powder measure, and that kind of widens out that gap there, that safe gap a little bit. And Walter says he's no issues as long as you follow the rules.
Yeah.
But it shoots it lives up to its name when it comes to 9 millimeter. 40, I'm not so much. I the bigger the case, the less I like tight group. Does that make sense? Because it's such a small charge. Even take 44 special as opposed to 9 millimeter. I know that's two extremes, but you got a lot of powder bouncing around in a big old case, and 45 ACP, uh, 44 special. And I know that's tight group's forte is igniting. You know, it don't fail to ignite.
That's why I like red dot.
Yeah.
That's a good bulky powder.
You know,
Seems like
red dot, it don't take a lot.
Yeah.
It's consistent. It does. It's a good 357, 44, 9 mil shotgun.
I
You can do
looked up.
light gas loads and rifle too.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I got a phone call I had to take.
Good to go.
Yeah, there's pros and cons with every powder that you pick out.
There is.
Like for example, the tight group, the heat, the narrower charging range. A lot of people are going to turn away from it. There's also bullseye. A lot of people absolutely love it, but a lot of people won't go anywhere near it because the powder is so dark. People are really concerned about a powder that they cannot see inside the case. So
little bitty amounts too. You can double charge it, and it can be spiky, and it doesn't meter well. It's got a lot of complaints about it, but I've burned my share of it. I'll tell you, it's a good powder.
Oh, the tight group?
Yeah, no, bullseye.
Bullseye?
I mean, yeah, bullseye.
Yeah, I keep plenty of that on hand. I just, you got to figure out, what sort of cons you're willing to work with and run with it.
Thanks for coming in, John. We appreciate it. It's good to see you, buddy.
Good night.
Good night, John.
Good night, buddy.
Echo's either coming in or leaving it. Anyway, howdy.
Hello, Dave.
Good to see you, buddy. And if you're leaving, I hope you have a good night. See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, green dot is one you just never hear about anymore, and red dot you don't hear much about. The old shotgun powders.
Yeah, I was lucky and was able to pick up some kegs of promo, which is the same thing, just rebranded.
Will do, John.
Tight group is not position sensitive at all, Kyle. You can run tight group almost in anything. So, but
It's
some
only really-
powders,
It's only really an issue with really tiny charges in big cases.
right? And you may have to use a filler or something, or cotton or something to keep that powder against the primer, so that it'll go off good.
Don't just do that though. Make sure you know what you're doing if you're going to use a filler, because they can cause their own problems.
Yeah, don't use grits.
Yeah, don't waste grits like that.
You could
I
put
was
keto
waiting
on
for
it.
grits to come up. First thing I was thinking, well, if you're down south, it's grits. If you're up north, it's cream of wheat.
Cream of wheat just makes your guns stink and gets all gooey.
Is that right?
I've got personal experience in it, trying it. Ain't doing that at
I use it
premium.
for case forming. Works
You
good
gotta
for
put
case
a little
forming.
butter in with it.
And salt. Don't put sugar in your grits, guys.
No.
Heavy.
Now, see, Tommy boy, I learned something tonight. I did not know that. I know that my favorite 45 ACP powder is Power Pistol. And
Becoming my favorite, but like you said, in the early days of Bullseye, shooting 38 and 45, it was Bullseye. Bullseye for Bullseye. That's what the powder you used. And then the guys changed over to 231. A lot of guys use 231 in place of Bullseye in the 45, and it works good too. It's a little bulkier. You use almost twice as much, but yeah, I burned. I can't tell you how much Bullseye in 38s and 45s shooting 40 years of Bullseye.
Yeah, hard to go wrong with it. Very hard.
Even though it's only a couple grains at a time, it's
I use Bullseye for all my competition loads for 9mm. I'm happy with it.
yeah. That was that case position issue.
that's what we're talking about.
Yep.
And I think that's something we ought to explain. And I forgot who asked the question now, but what happens is when the case is laying horizontal.
Kyle did.
Kyle, let's say this is a dummy round, no primer. So when the case is set, when it's sitting in the cartridge is setting in there, when it's got a light load, you'll just have a very little bit laying across there. And what happens is the spark happens from the primer, and it burns from the top down instead of from the back to the front.
It shoots over top of the powder. So if you don't have more than half a case full, so that it covers the flash hole, so the firing pin, the flash hole, that's when you could potentially have that phenomenon happen. And some will tell you it doesn't. Some will tell you they don't really understand what it is, or it's a really unknown, but something serious happens, and it's as if you had a double charge or something, and it's nasty.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
They got an acronym for it. SEE, secondary something explosion. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with that. I researched it a while back looking at H110, trying to understand what the dangers were that they spoke of.
I guess more surface area to ignite at one time.
Yeah. So just to be safe, choose a load that's going to be more than half a case, so you're sure to cover the flash hole when the cartridge is in the chamber.
And you kind of think it would be just the opposite, because there's less in there. Actually, just the opposite.
There you go. Reloader 762 says it's SEC, and it's never been duplicated in a lab.
Yep. I've seen a Model 14 Smith & Wesson blowing the top strap right off. It happened right beside me shooting a match. I watched it happen. So you can say the guy double charged. It was a wad cutter load. There's not a lot of room in that case. But I saw it happen.
Did the gun blow up?
Blew the top strap right back. Bent it right forward. Blew the top of the cylinder
Right.
right in the guy's hand. I watched it happen, Jamie. I was standing right beside him.
Huh. Good night, PA Reloader. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Yep.
Hey, man, thanks for coming. Good to see you.
Not PA.
I guess thinking about the pressure involved instead of working its way from the case head to the bottleneck or whatever, it's working backwards. So you're fighting against the pressure that's in front. I can see where it could, push the pressure back towards the bolt face. But you would think the path of least resistance is still the bullet going down the barrel, not the case head separation, blah, blah, yada, yada.
It's all about the powder curve, the burn rate.
Sure. It's amazing how. Yep.
Good night, Andy.
Just goes to show you what we're working with and how close you got to be. You better follow the book.
Hey, you gotta remember, even though we're following a book, we're always taking risks.
Yeah.
And our firearms, no matter how well we duplicate what the book says, there's always tolerance differences.
Yeah.
Even if it's only a lot, temperature differences, everything. And we're ultimately responsible for our load. Got to make sure, being a new reloader, if you're new at this, definitely want to make sure that you got a good, solid understanding of that. Nobody, no publisher can write you a load for your gun that's perfect and perfectly safe. You can send it off to a lab and have them develop it for you. That's about as close as you can get. But yeah, I've had some experiences with that, following a book load and then it not working out so good.
Yeah, James, I've never seen an auto blow like that. I've seen at least a half dozen times magazines pushed out the bottom, and guys' hands buzzed, but never broke a slide or anything that I saw. But it shoots the magazine right out the base into your feet. I'll tell you that. I've seen that a few times. I've seen that with 22s.
Interesting. Then you got that other phenomenon with the large case not detonating, even though the primer popped.
That explains it a little bit.
That would be bad.
That would be really bad.
Would be
That's
bad.
That's a blowed up gun.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And you got 243 Mach.
Yep.
Glad I got a 6mm.
Here we go. Shots fired.
Boom.
I think that
The miss
powder
they
case-
could tell high.
What about the amount of powder compared to seating depth of the projectile on increasing the pressure in there?
Oh, it absolutely does. Yeah, if you don't follow the recipe, every part of it, you can potentially, change the outcome. And taking a bullet and seating it really deep reduces powder capacity.
And I guess that it goes to show if the powder's already quick and spiky with very little change in volume, you're risking that with very little change in depth. Your tight grip. Watch what you do with your 9mm. Watch what you do with your. Because I pulled a couple 9mm out when I started reloading years and years ago, and they were pushed back, and it scared the crap out of me seeing that. I'm glad it didn't, fire, or I'm glad I didn't shoot it. But it pushed that bullet all the way against the powder. That would have been ugly.
New reloaders don't read that wrong, meaning that I'm saying that if you seat it out long, you're just fine, because if you seat it out really long, now you're doing what Tommy Boy said there. You're getting that bullet near the rifling, and if you seat that bullet out to be into the rifling and pull the trigger, you're going to raise pressures an awful lot too, even though you've got that bullet seated out a long way and you've increased the powder capacity and lowered pressures in and of the case itself. But take that and put it in a gun where the bullet is in the rifling, you've just spiked pressures again.
Makes sense.
That's why I brought that up. I need you to kick that in, CW.
Yeah.
You can explain it way better than I can. But I'm gonna venture into loading 9 major here in a few months. I'm ordering my major gun for open. So I'm gonna be loading 9 major, which is 8 plus grains in a 9 millimeter. So now seating depth really comes into play, and not much seating depth involved in that.
Yeah. A lot of guns got blow up guys trying to make 9mm go super.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be a whole new area of experimentation with this now.
So there you go, guys.
We just outlawed it years ago.
Apparently, Curtis has dropped the gauntlet on both of you guys.
Looking forward to it, sir. Bring on the fun.
And I have this box from our buddy Michael Hurtneck. And I'm going to open it right now. Is that okay with you, Michael?
Give me 1 second.
There's Harm.
Johnny, if you do that, just remember black powder needs to be compressed. You don't have an airspace.
Can I recommend something, Johnny? Trail Boss. Not that I use it or not that I care to.
Trail Boss, Tin Star, and the SR powders, if you can find those. They're all really good and bulky. It's a good equivalent.
I can't find them anywhere. I know Willie had some.
Hey, G23.
What's up, G?
My man.
I'm opening up this box very carefully because, number one, Michael said I could. And second of all, because I'm thinking that it's going to be a prize for our raffle. And I'm starting to feel like a fool because I don't have the information for the bank account like I need it. But you guys that don't feel comfortable with giving online like that, you can mail a check or a money order to a post office box, and I'll have the number tomorrow. And I'll probably put out a video. Me and Gene might get together and do a video.
Oh yeah, road trip time.
We can do it on StreamYard.
No, road trip.
And Mark's going to meet us in the middle.
Yeah.
Where's the middle?
Where's the middle?
We're in Kentucky,
The middle's dead zero.
Tennessee. Where's the
That'll
middle?
work.
Spencer, Tennessee.
Spencer, Tennessee works.
All right. Well, that's way away from me. So
Well, tell me where
Be
to
there in
send a
spirit. It's
ticket, and I'll
fine.
send you a ticket.
Don't be mean and send him a Greyhound.
Hey, I've done that a few times, and I had good experiences. I know what it was, but I had a decent time.
I learned a trick riding Greyhounds. If you wear a safety vest, everybody leaves you alone. No one will bother you if you got a safety vest on.
I learned you couldn't lollygag when you're doing the transfers. You know, you had to, because you could just be left behind if the bus got full. But me and the boys, we did good. We took a few trips, and I enjoyed them.
I have no note, Michael. Oh, wow.
You're gonna have to blow yourself up, Jamie.
We're all waiting in suspense. What are
Not
you
pirate
doing?
style, but
You guys are not going to believe this. Yeah, this is definitely a prize for the giveaway. Are you ready?
yes.
Ooh,
Oh,
Very nice.
Wow.
very cool.
Very, very cool.
1.
What did we say about the panel not being involved? I think
2.
I reneged what I said.
3.
Speaking of, we need to get together and have a euchre tournament and a shooting match somewhere.
4.
What is euchre? Is that like
Euchre.
you said it twice?
It's a good card game.
Yeah, go for something a little more fun like Uno or Skip-Bo.
That's 5.
999% fine silver. And there's 5 of them.
Wow.
Very generous.
Thank you, Michael.
Michael, I don't put anything in writing. Yeah. Yeah. Whatever happened to Texas Hold'em? 5-card stud, 5-card draw.
I like it when they come around with the festivals. You go to the tent over in the beer garden and play your Texas poker. It was always fun.
So I didn't say hey to the trapper.
Hey, I didn't see him come in.
Yeah, he snuck in the back door. That's what family does. Company comes to the front door and knocks. Family and close friends comes to the back door and just walks on in. They yell, "Yo, anybody home?"
That's the way it is
Yeah,
in my
boom.
house.
Yeah, so we've got 5 ounces of U.S. government mint. So I guess that's going to be, I'll have to do some research. That'll either be 1 prize or 5 prizes. I don't know how much that's worth. So definitely not plated. That is,
And 999% solid, pure.
yeah. There you go. It's the thing I think Texas Hold'em was developed for was so if you've got a lot of people playing, like 6, 7, 8, 9 people playing, you don't run out of cards. Yeah, black powder. Good point, James. And James is having issues, and I know we're getting close to going off time, and I promised him that we'd talk about this. He's having issues with some 300 blackout. Uh, Mock, you sent him some bullets for 300 blackout, didn't you?
Yep.
can and Gene loads for 300 blackout too. If y'all can throw him some good powders, powder choices, he showed me some of his pictures. Let me see if I can find one of them.
CFP Black.
Yeah,
That's a good powder. H110.
I like Lil Gun.
Yeah.
I'm a Lil Gun
little
fan.
gun.
Right. It measures consistent.
He's having problems with little gun.
Really.
Yeah,
Little gun is not all it's cracked up to be unless you're just a velocity hound. Little gun is very spiky. Little gun is very hot. It burns very, very hot.
I'm using.
No, I don't mean pressures. I mean heat. It creates a lot of heat.
CFP Black's nice and clean.
CFE Black is expensive, 1680.
Okay.
It's a little bit different, but it does the same thing, but it costs more. And right now you can't find either one of them. So
I hope y'all can see, particularly that one in the front, in the middle. Now the one on the left don't look that bad, but the other two are flatter than a pancake, man.
That one in the middle's kind of scary flat, unless it's
Yeah.
angle.
if I
Don't
remember
do
his,
that.
if I remember his email, those are all the same loads.
None of my brass ever looks like that.
Now it looks like 3 different brasses too, so we're talking a little bit different volume maybe, or is that all the same brass?
Could be, but 223 doesn't change a whole lot.
I'll be right back.
Enough to be an issue.
I'm gonna run downstairs and grab a few pieces of my brass that I've shot with it and look at my actual load data.
Now, I'll back someone else up that just said that 1680 is also a really good powder, and if you can get Shooter's World Blackout, obviously that's a good powder.
It's been said many times, and Rebel I think will back me up on it. You can do everything you need to do with H110/296 and 1680 in the blackout.
Yeah.
Everything that can be done with those 2 powders or 3 powders.
I found my accuracy load with my 16-inch barrel and my 7-inch barrel, both with the Shooter's World. So, and it just happens to be my cast load is the most accurate I've got so far.
Yeah, with the little blackout, the 296 H110 will cover all bullet weights, but it really shines under 150, and 1680 shines over 150 or over.
Yeah.
And see, this is what's confusing to me about it. That don't really look that bad now I take a better look at it. Some of them aren't so bad.
I've got some Shooter's World Blackout. I haven't tried it yet.
See, can y'all see that?
Yeah.
I wish I could make that picture bigger. All right.
It's got the bottom there. It's got a magnifying glass with a plus minus. Are you as big as it goes?
Oh, hold on a minute.
Under the picture there. Yeah, there you go. There we go.
Okay. You look right there. Can y'all see the pointer?
Yeah.
All right, look right there and right there.
Yeah.
And no more experience than I have with 300 blackout.
Okay, those the dents that are in the neck come from the chamber, the lugs outside the chamber. The
Yeah.
extractor spring is so strong that as that case comes back, it clears the chamber and goes snap against the side into the star, into the lugs. And that's
Right.
what causes those dents. The
And you
flat
gotta remember too,
It's like-
it's been cut down, and that's just how it comes out of there. Right?
What do you mean cut down?
Cut down from 223.
No. When you fire a 300 blackout in some chambers or some guns that have a really strong spring, you've got an extractor and you've got an ejector. You've got a spring and a button on the back of the bolt, and it's pushing that case along the right hand side of the chamber. So when it's fully seated, it's in the chamber, but it's still got pressure pushing to the right side.
Mm-hmm.
As you pull that empty case out, as the bolt comes back,
Snap.
the case mouth clears the back of the chamber, but it's got about a 1/16 of an inch before it hits those lugs that lock the bolt up. And that's what puts those dent scratches in the neck of the case. That's where that comes from. And the flat spots come from the deflector or from the side of the gun. Case deflector.
That's it. The one that's further back.
This one.
I don't
That's
see
one of the things I wanted to look at is that. See those scratches right there?
Up there. That could be from the magazine. More than likely, that's from the magazine.
Yeah, that makes sense too. I get yeah.
And then Bulldog's wanting to look at that one. But, one of the things he was talking about was, and you can see it some right there, really the powder residue on the brass, which really freaked me out because if you've got pressure to the point that you're having those flat primers, and then to have powder residue also, that blows my wig. So.
I didn't know he was having that much trouble with that.
What kind of primers are being used?
Yeah, there's another good question because if you're using if you got by mistake a pistol primer in there, it's going to have a much thinner cup and it's going to make it really flat when you not have high pressures.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
Really
Little gun is a hot powder. Am I right? Not just hot as in fast. It's a temperature hot powder.
It's very temperature hot. Yeah,
It does
and
a lot of throat erosion.
it's
Not that it's
spiky,
happening now, but
if you come close to compressing it, it can be really spiky.
I'm just wondering if that's where we're getting our pressure and our soot.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2400 is good in 300 black. Yeah.
Basically, I think it's kind of like 350 Legend in that Magnum handgun powders work well in 350 Legend and 300 Blackout.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of powders that'll work good.
Right.
There really is.
But
Like I really like that 300 MP with 135 grain FTX. That's one of my favorite loads in my bolt gun. I produce awesome velocities and really, really good accuracy.
Did you run those with gas checks, and what size were they, James? I don't know if that's going to change anything other than maybe a little accuracy, but
I'm
I
going
think
to
I think I sent those to him sized. If I don't remember right.
Well, I wouldn't dump it out 6-shooter. It does work good in a couple of calibers. It really shines in the Hornet. And if you're a 357 Magnum guy with a carbine and you want to get top velocity, it does a really good job. It does a really good job. If you got a Hornet or a B, you could probably burn it up there.
but it's designed for 410 bore shotgun. Am I right?
2400 was initially.
Okay, gotcha, James.
But there's a lot to work in that too. It works good in a 410 shotgun too. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I swore off it and number 9 in the 450. I got hang fires. I got all kinds of problems with little gun and number 9 in the 450.
Yeah. I can see that. Good comment, guys. Good stuff. All right, James, I hope you learned something. Hope we helped. And it's time for us to start going through the room and say goodnight to these nice folks for hanging out with us on a Friday night. Hope you all had a great 4th of July weekend. We'll have a video coming out sometime during the week about how to make donations. I thought I had it ready tonight. Turns out nobody could find it. I don't reckon. So we're still working on that. We'll have you guys that don't feel comfortable doing on giving online. We'll have the post office box number tomorrow. So I'm gonna go to the post office. I got everything filled out. I've already paid for it. All I got to do is take 2 forms of identification and this form to the post office. And Michael, thanks for your gift. That'll will go. That'll be a prize in the drawing. Thanks to Michael Hartnett and Bulldog. How's it going, buddy?
It's going great. My project for this week is to finish up the second build, and hopefully by the end of the weekend I should have it done. If not by this time next week, it will be done. All I'm waiting on is the flash hider and crush washer, and the door. Mark said he was going to send me one of those for it. I don't know. You said one's on the way for it.
What's that?
The side door.
Okay, when they get done, I'll send one out. They haven't got those back yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's that's not a hard thing for me to put on.
Right.
That's essentially all I've got left. I got the barrel in today, or yesterday rather, and I'm going to clean everything up, bed it, and tighten it in, and it'll be a thing.
Sounds good.
I'm excited to see him. Thanks, man. Appreciate all you're doing.
Hey, look, for Willie and for
Absolutely.
Melissa.
He did plenty for us, didn't he?
Look, he did a lot for us. He and I spent a lot of time on the telephone talking, just over, who knows what. And, he did my heart a lot of good. Man had a heart of gold.
He did. Led Smith is glad to have you back with us tonight, buddy. We've been missing you.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me here. And as far as projects go, nothing too big going on in the homestead right now. Just doing some work outside and trying to keep a few things together so I can get back to doing some more of my work with 762 by 39 and some of these other things been missing out on. But man, it's been great. I've had a couple of good past weeks. Did a lot of kayaking, a little bit of rafting and all that up on the Nantahala River up in North Georgia, North Carolina area. So, if y'all ever looking for some fun, and check them out. Get on the water a little bit. It's hot. We need a break.
Well, man, I'm glad to have you back, and I want everybody to notice how Led Smith can still display firearms even on YouTube. Very cool, man. Good old country style gun rack back there. When I grew up, that's what we had, right? We didn't have, you either had that or a cabinet with a glass front on it. The safes were non-existent yet.
Dude, in those days, you had a rack like that one in the back of your pickup truck glass.
I still do.
Yeah.
I still do. Mock.
Not much going on here. Plan on doing some more load testing for the. I got some loaded up for 30-06 and 270 for a friend of mine. We're just going to see what those do. And deer season will be here before we know it. I'm going to start getting the muzzle loader ready and sighted in. I've got another one to play with, so it's a modern, so whatever. But yeah, guys, hopefully we can have a good contest coming up. Thanks for having me. Thanks for everybody in the side chat. It's good to see you people. I haven't been talking much on the side chat, but you guys mean the world to me. So we'll pass it up to Mr. Gene Hotpot.
Hey, Jamie, panel, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. I love being on here. It's always a great learning experience. There's always a great side chat, great panel. This weekend, let's see, I got a couple videos to make. I got an event Sunday I got to go shoot, which is going to be fun. Love getting out and doing that. Other than that, just, man, trying to live, love, laugh, and reload.
And keep blowing the smoke.
You know that is from the Emperor, right? When I would do that wave, that's from the Emperor. He was the
I
first.
miss him. I'm gonna have to call him up in a little while. Tomorrow, not tonight.
Get a video, his kid's ball game or something. The last one I saw from him
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago, maybe.
Now we should start blowing him up with text about 3:00 in the morning. All of us that have his number, just start blowing him up.
I know I miss Duck Vader.
Yeah. Yeah, he makes a fun video, that's for sure.
He sure does.
There you go. Big E's getting some good results.
My side chat is still blowing up, ain't it?
Yeah, they're going good. And Rollis bringing back all of those 357, 41, and 44 mag. We need to do a show sometimes just on 41 Magnum.
Good one. It's a good one.
And overlooked and forgotten. What you got working on, CW?
I'm waiting on something to come in the mail that I'm going to do a video on. And I'm counting down here to my surgery date, which I'm pretty happy about. But that's about it. I don't have a whole lot planned, a whole lot going on. I'm sure I'll find something to do a video or two on time, but I got that one plan, and that's really about it. I've been working on my 6506.
You ever thought about getting into casting?
Nah. I hear it's
Overrated. GGW reloaded 150 rounds of 45 Colt. And we need to track down old Jesse B and get him on here again.
Yeah.
He ain't been on in forever, and he's doing a video a day, guys.
I asked him a couple times. Same thing with Lead Bullets for Life.
Crazy work hours.
There's a guy we need to get on, Mr. Chris. Come on now.
I live about 20 minutes from Jesse, and I rarely see him.
Oh man, that's what I'd want. Since I got that Black Hawk, I'm in love, man. I ain't lying. It'll never take the place of my Smith and Wessons, but those Ruger Blackhawks are awful nice. And Walter doing some Schofield. Cool, man.
That was a good video, buddy. Good to see you.
Yeah. All right. So that being said, I hope all y'all had a good time with us tonight. We had a good time enjoying it with you guys. So much information out there, and we're going to clear the deck for Gizzard Gary. I think he's coming on. Is he coming on tonight? Anyway, let me see if I can get this right. Tuesday night is the Reloading Podcast. Wednesday night is Chris from the 740. Thursday night is AR Guns. Friday night before us is Echo's Reloading Chamber, then us, then Gizzard Gary. Saturday morning is, what's his name? Come on, help me.
GM Pause.
No.
G does one later in the day. G23.
About 8 or 9 o'clock. Saturday morning is Travis P11.
Oh, yeah.
Travis P11, and then G23 will kick up about 6 o'clock on Saturday night. G, if you're out there, are you on for tomorrow evening? Then Uncle Jim comes on about 8. And then Sunday is Foreign and Domestic on the Scottish American channel. So anyway, guys, check us out on Discord, Reloaders Network, all that stuff. Send us an email at georgiashootingconnection@gmail.com. We'll get a video up this week about how you can make donations to Willie Bullet Man's fundraiser to help his family. And we hope the Lord blesses y'all all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see y'all all again next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night, guys.